Today we're going to be unboxing the Airfield P-51 Mustang. This is the yellow version. All these planes are in the 1400 millimeter size category. The wings, for those of us that use the English measurements, that's about a 55 inch. This plane actually is a 1450 millimeter, which is about 57 inches in size. I don't have a cameraman today, so I'm going to be doing all the filming myself, so I may take a break away to open the box, and I'm going to try to show you all the contents in real time. I haven't done anything other than open this box to look at it to make sure that there was no stripping damage. So why don't we open it and take a look at the contents. Here we have the box open for the P-51 Mustang made by Airfield. This gives you a true idea of the size of this plane. I have several other planes in this size range, 55 inch wingspan or so, but the fuselage on this one is just massive. It feels much larger, much more massive than any of the other planes, than some of the other planes that I should say that I have. It's not quarter scale, but it is a pretty large plane. Just looking things over quickly here, I see that the hinges are all in place on the elevator here. This is so that's all pre-hinged. Don't have to do anything there. We are going to have to put on the control horns. I see they give us a little package here of the control horns and the screws and stuff like that. The spinner here, I took a look at that, and that's just a huge spinner. So I'm really excited about getting this together and seeing what it looks like and seeing what it can do. I don't see the instructions here anywhere, but I'll start taking it out of the package and see if we can locate the instructions. I'm just kind of curious to see what the instructions look like. I think this would be pretty easy to put together even without the instructions, but we'll follow the instructions for this, and if there's any changes that need to be made, we'll make them along the way, and I'll mention that to you. Sometimes it's good to do a little bit of customization. You don't want to veer too much away from the instructions, but sometimes you can do little things to make it a little bit customized. Do your own style. Well, there it is, all laid out on the table for you. Gives you a little bit more sense of size. This is a pretty standard size card table, so it just gives you an idea of how big this plane really is. So we're going to be taking a look at it here shortly. I did notice when unpacking it there is some minor damage here, and I just wanted to point this out because this is not really a big deal to me, and I'll tell you why. This type of foam, EPO and EPP foam, is very easily put back into shape with hot water. You get some hot water near the boiling point. I wouldn't do boiling because that can make the cells puff up more, but near the boiling point, very hot. Pour it over this several times, even run it under a spigot of hot water, and that should go right back down into shape, and you should barely even be able to see any of those wrinkles. So that to me is not a real big deal. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I didn't see any other damage. There's just a little bit of a wrinkle on this corner here too, but everything else looks good. Let me get a shot of the motor here for you so you can actually see the size of this motor. This is a pretty sizable motor. Looks really nice. I can't wait to get the prop on it and spin it up and see how it does. Well, I got a different camera to do my recording with, so hopefully the quality turns out a little bit better and you can see a little bit more. I'm going to be moving it over here a little bit closer to me in just a second so that you can see in a little bit more detail what I'm doing. First thing on the instructions are really basic on this. Just give a few pictures with very few words. So the first instruction just says install the propeller. So that's what we're going to do. It looks like the propeller is a little bit different on this than I've seen on other planes before. This is kind of unique. I don't know if there's other planes out there like this or not. But this actually has individual blades, and it looks like they go right onto the inside part of the spinner here. So let's see if we can get them together. Kind of a little neat thing that they did here is they gave us a little package here with all the control horns and screws and stuff, and they also threw in a screwdriver and an Allen wrench. So that's kind of neat that they did that. So let's pull out the screwdriver here. It looks like they're using the screwdriver. Put the propellers on. The blades. This looks pretty straightforward. It looks like blades go right into position just like this, and 2 screws hold each blade in place just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, there's the finished product. I kind of like this design actually, if you can get these blades. The only downside to it is if you can't get a hold of these blades and you have to go to a different 4-bladed prop or something, you're probably going to need to change out the whole spinner and stuff. But this is kind of a neat design. I haven't seen one like this. So let me see if I can get the plane into an area here where you can see it okay. The next step is just installing the propeller onto the nose of the plane here. So what we got is we got just a standard type of prop adapter on this motor, pretty long prop adapter. So you just unscrew that, take the washer off. I'm going to put it right on there just like that. There's only one way that this can go on as far as I can tell. It slides right on just like that. The washer goes on. That goes on. And this part is rather important. You want to make sure that it's snug. The screwdriver fits right down through the hole here on that prop adapter. And you snug it down. You don't want to break it. Just snug it down good. And then the nose cone, spinner, I should say, goes right on. Got to line up these holes here. Goes on just like that. And then there are 2 screws that hold this in place. I'll go ahead and put those on. Put those in. And that finishes up this portion of the install. Next step is to install the horizontal stabilizer, elevators, we'll call them. And I want to point out one nice thing that that this kit has is they individually packaged the different screws and stuff, and they actually have a part number. And on the instructions, it actually tells you what part number you need to install this with. And actually, I grabbed the wrong one. So let me reach over here and grab the right package. And it says needs packed screw Pt.1 by 35, one piece. Pt.1 by 35. There we go. It actually has 2 of them, even though it says 1. I wonder if there's another one used someplace. So simply, this just gets screwed on. You don't have to glue the elevator, which is kind of nice if you want to take it off for transport or something. It doesn't look like it's going to be too hard. I don't know until we get a little bit farther if there's going to be anything else that needs to be glued on as far as like the vertical stabilizer and stuff. Okay, so that fits right on there, just like that. Let me swing this around, just so you can see what I'm doing here. So put that right in there. The screw goes right in the bottom here. There's a hole right here. Just drop that right down in there. Push it through the foam. See if it's biting in here. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Oh! Okay, well, I found out where the second screw goes. That's actually for the vertical stabilizer. So let's try that again. I'm just going to leave that screw right there for now. I think it'll be okay. I had this in the right position. Just like that. The screw for this goes down through the top. See, if I'd paid attention to the instructions a little bit better, I would have known that. But, getting a little overconfident in myself here. Okay, next we are doing the vertical stabilizer. Got it right that time. And I did have to take that other screw out. That was the incorrect screw. It was too long. So I got the correct screw right here. So this goes into position just like this, kind of locks down in there. Forward, lock that down in, just like that. Now we flip it over and we put the proper screw in place. And screwed in place, and that portion is done.